Big Knockers Productions presents a future award-winning documentary from Kung Fu Hot Dog.
Welcome everyone to this fireside chat, overcoming marginalization within the video games industry. I hope you all have had a great conference so far. My name is Lauren Kay. I'm the host of She Plays Games podcast, where I talk to women in the video games industry about their experience in the industry to help promote more visibility and share resources.
You thought I was asleep, didn't you? Acting. Good night.
Did I ever tell you what the definition of insanity is? Insanity is doing the exact same fucking thing over and over again.
I'm in Dubai, but reality of it, I mean, I'm not going to eat for a week after this.
In the world's...
And before I begin today's video, folks, it's time for the obligatory punch to the screen. I cannot believe this story has not been talked about, even being monetized off, but yours truly is going to do just that today. Because unlike the Jesus freak content creators out there who like to go after certain other content creators just to get subscribers for their channel because they're feeling a bit lonesome and a bit worrisome, yours truly is making this video because I don't really know what the reaction's going to be. Might be a huge nuclear bomb. Could be a nuclear bum in some cases.
No, it's a bomb.
Or it could just be a wet fart in the ocean. So what am I talking about today? It's DEI or EDI or DIE perhaps, because there is a group of witches, a coven of witches who have been behind closed doors, secretly tearing up bits of paper and throwing them into a pot, because the difference between boys and girls, folks, when it comes to video gaming, we love to game, we like to have our beers and our hot dogs beside us, and women like to cast spells into the cauldron because I guess that's all they want to do. And for some bizarre reason, my light is flickering here at the moment, which is kind of weird since we're talking about Coven. That's right. Something you should put on your watch list, folks, because really, I have no idea. Actually, I have a very big idea what these ladies, if that's what you want to call some of them, are actually up to and how they're going to destroy video games for the future. If you think it's hyperbole, turn the video off now. If not, keep on watching. I promise you, it's gonna get good.
Watch this space.
¿Qué será mi vida?
The next half hour.
She brings you.
Well, that's much better, folks, because for a minute there, I was almost turning a whiter shade of pale like Procol Harum. But let's have a look at this article, folks, from the gamesindustry.biz. Code Coven launches studio accreditation program. It involves to aim at setting a standard for accountability and DEI in the games industry. Now, this is a bit of a worrying thing, folks, because I tell you what, Code Coven does not hide DEI. I've said that in my introduction. They just don't. It's out there for people to see. Now, I'll say this much. From what I can tell through my research, these witches aren't actually in the sweet baby era of making video games, sneaking it past you so you won't see what's going on. They're more like a classroom outfit where if you're a budding aspirist to get into video games and you're a certain color, because you can't be white, you've got to be marginalized to get through their training program, then they can upend you and put you in a video gaming studio, and you'll be treated with all the kindness and respect and mutual admiration that is so far lacking in video games. So Coven has unveiled its new studio accreditation program called Evolve in partnership with GamesIndustry.biz. So again, you know all that guffle already. Vancouver-based Eastside Games is the first studio to be evolved or involved accredited with the director and people of culture, Julie Yang. Now, if you want to know who Julie Yang is, I'll give you her credentials right now, because like I said, these people do not hide anything at all. Julie Yang is the director of people and culture, Eastside Games. So in other words, she's given herself the job role title of director. Because let's face it, folks, who else is going to give it to her, right? And this lady right here, Cinzia Murcio, a co-CEO of Coven, is also a BAFTA member in the UK. And I'll get back to her, or maybe is it a she, them, in a few moments. But to take you back, folks, Tara Mustafa is the CEO of Coven of Witches. It's a groundbreaking organization, folks, which aims to deliver diversity, equity, and, wait for it, inclusion, otherwise known as DEI, in the video game industry, with a fierce passion for advocating for marginalized communities. Tara has made it her mission to create opportunities and sustainable wealth for underrepresented groups within the gaming world. Remember the good old days of the Blues Brothers starring John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd?
We're on a mission from God.
But this Tara Mustafa lady is on a mission to make sure that you get more money in your pockets if you work for a renowned gaming studio, probably more so than your white colleagues who might be a lot more talented than you are. But back to the article, folks, because this only gets so much more sillier and so much more funnier. So on Pop Change, Tara Mustafa, because let's not forget, folks, she is a she and she is a her.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Tara Mustafa and my pronouns are she, her.
You can have two. Fucking you.
Is an award-winning seasoned game designer and producer. And this article is actually almost tongue-in-cheek. Her bewitching work doesn't stop there. No, because she's going to kill the gaming industry with DE&I, because that's another way they like to phrase it, isn't it? She's all about amplifying underrepresented voices through her educational work and seeks to give them the building blocks to make their magic happen. If you ask me, this sounds like Kim Belair and the channeling of, well, you've got to take them out for a cup of coffee and then you've got to terrify them afterwards. There are certainly echoes of that I can see in this reading alone. So ladies and gentlemen, the following video is for informational purposes only. Yes, I am doing an unabashedly, unashamed impersonation of Smash JT because it's the sort of thing he would say in his video, and quite rightly so. Everything you're going to watch here is all for public domain eyes to look at. Again, Coven are not hiding this information, so if they want to issue a privacy complaint against me or my channel or my video, it ain't gonna stretch much, ladies, because your information is out there and it's down to people like me to make a commentary about it. But back to the video, folks. And as you can see from Tara Mustafa's LinkedIn page, and of course she has not forgotten to highlight her pronouns, she and her, she's the founder and CEO at Coven, breaking the rules so you don't have to. Or in other words, you're a female version of Tony Soprano with tits. And if you scroll on down her profile, Yes, she has gone all the way back as far as 2005 to 2007, where she was a game designer for Death Jr. and the Science Fair of Doom, which sounds rather awesome if you ask me. Backbone Entertainment, and snigger while you can at that title of a video game studio. And currently, she is the CEO of Coven, and she's been doing remote working as an advisor for Green Bit. So yes, she might argue that she has got some gaming experience. She's had some hands-on with the development of a team, but I'm still not quite convinced she is a proper encoder. Her responsibilities, for example, for Infusion are managing client expectations, resourcing, maintaining product integrity, which again, you know what that stands for, and assisting with business development. She's worked closely with off-site teams in both Canada and Poland to create developmental plans and manage daily scrums, not scums, supporting deployment, testing, creative direction and scripting in order to help the teams achieve their goals. That was a mouthful, and that's what she said as well. Quite honestly, just reading through this is frankly very exhausting. But like Bryan Adams, everything I do it for you. Bryan Adams' nickname is also the Groover from Vancouver, but I'll give him a pass because the dude is actually pretty solid, except for the fact he's a vegetarian, but I won't hold that against him either. And as promised, folks, here is the other co-CEO of the Coven of Witches, Cinzia Muzio. She is a equity, diversity and inclusion consultant. Please get in touch with her. She also trains as a consultant and a researcher for Limit Break, the Game Awards Future Class 21, and as I see it, she stands as a current BAFTA member in the UK. And she's got quite a few followers, quite a few connections. But is her background actually about video games? Well, on the surface level, it seems to be, but she was educated at these places. She worked at Oxfam. So again, it seems that all of her training from when she stepped into the real world of working in jobs is definitely all about equality and that fighting the path to it, inclusion and belonging, all those cliche SEO buzzwords that are supposed to mean something, right? But in the grand scheme of things, folks, I don't think they mean much at all. But just going through everything, Splash Damage, I know who they are, but it's all about pushing that diversity, equity and inclusion, right? It is absolutely hilarious. And on Facebook, yes, Code Coven are everywhere. They're even on TikTok, folks. Uncovering Bias, a journey to awareness and inclusion. And as you can see, it's had no interaction whatsoever, which doesn't surprise me. I mean, look, ladies, you're proud to announce you worked with Meta, yet you can't even get the relevant likes to these posts, because I guess when people see this sort of stuff, they just want to run the other way. And frankly, I don't blame them at all. But taking a closer look at the Coven of Witches right here on their website, well, just have a look for yourself. Get into game development. Code Coven provides an inclusive and empowering environmental specifically designed for marginalized individuals. So I tell you once again, folks, if you're Caucasian, forget it. You ain't getting a foot through the door. Sorry about that. But if you're me, yeah, you might get through. You might be okay. Get involved. Why work with us? Why do you want to work with us? And actually, if you look at their programs, this is quite interesting because let's have a look. Where are the programs? Here, what is Aurora, by the way? I keep saying the Aurora Agency, supported by the BFI National Lottery Innovation Challenge Fund. So I'm guessing that Aurora actually funds Code Coven, otherwise how would I have such a glossy website right now? But going back to just have a look at some of these bullet pointed programs they have here. I mean, one of them really stood out to me, called Wings Elevates nothing to do with the actor Wings Hauser. Empower your game development journey with Elevate. Benefit from our expert membership. A $10,000 stipend, which if you don't know what a stipend is, not to be confused with Michael Stipe of REM, it's a regular payment. So I'm guessing it's £10,000 a year because they haven't actually specified that. And you get the pitch guidance to transform your game prototype. Join a community that celebrates your unique perspective and drives impactful change in the gaming world. Again, that me is not very crystal clear. Are you giving that money or are they giving you that money? And if so, is it a one-off payment? Is it a regular sum of money? Not quite clear with that wording, and if I was a member of HR, I would be questioning that. And Code Coven have a YouTube channel. Only 187 subscribers, but that's better than having 0 in my books. And yes, let me remind you, don't go and harass them. It's not worth it because these ladies will cry harassment and being bullied all day long if you give them half a chance. But let's have a look at this video right here, which has a total view count of 273. And notice how they use sweet baby language right here. Just to give you an example, the first incubator for underrepresented developers. That's all you need to know. And strategically enough, the likes and dislikes have been disabled. I guess nobody told these Coven of Witches that if you actually enable that feature, you disable engagement with your core audience. But hey, I'm giving you free advice, girls. Intrepidly daring, providing marginalized developers with skills and confidence once we extort your money to thrive in the game industry. What else do you have? Oh, The Guardian. Oh, what a surprise. So they're referencing The Guardian from 2020. Only 20% of workers in the gaming industry are female. Well, I'm going to get to that point later on as well. Oh, here we go. Only 2% of game developers identify as Black, African American, African, Afro-Caribbean. We are here to change this. Of course you are. Confidence, creativity, collaboration. Amy Kai. Hi, Amy. I can't hear you.
I had a wonderful teacher that taught me new programs that I've never even heard before. I met a bunch of other amazing underrepresented.
Well, Amy Kai, that was absolutely riveting. I couldn't get myself off my chair seat quick enough. I met a bunch of other amazing underrepresented creatives that are just smelling their own farts and can't wait to get immersed and baptized in the sea of DEI.
That are in the field.
How can you get involved? Well, be like this lady and walk through the door, apply online, and you get yourself on the mentorship program. But mind you, what's very funny about this lovely lady right here, if she was a true black woman, she wouldn't have relaxed hair, would she? She's trying to look like a white lady instead. Except she can't change the color of her skin because why would she, right? The only thing that I liked about this trailer, this video, was the music. That was about as riveting as it got. And I want to go back to one more video here because like I said, folks, I've not even looked at this properly. Oh no, this is a student testimonial for Code Coven. What do you have to say, love?
Hi, I'm Cindy Napton. I'm a game writer and science fiction world builder. My pronouns are she.
Oh, of course they are.
I'm proud to be included in the Introduction to Game Making by Code Coven using Unity, and even more proud to have completed it. Code Coven's inclusivity supports my voice, my viewpoint. As an older game creator, I felt like I was really valuable in...
Now listen, love, if you're an older bird, it's okay. That's absolutely fine. But do you have to bring that to the forefront as the reason why the gaming industry should take you seriously? I think not, but let's carry on, Four Eyes.
The game industry. I appreciate the energy and compassion and support that Code Coven creates. Our course included Game Maker Server.
Do you know who that chick reminds me of? Kylie Kelsey, the #1 podcaster in the world, ahead of Joe Rogan. She too likes to look at an auto cue and read off the camera script because I guess Kelsey lacks charisma.
I'll be right back. I thought the desk behind me was going to be enough. It's not. I'll be right back.
Under the Evolve banner, revolutionize your studio with Evolve Studio accreditation, leverage analytics, and benchmarking for EDI excellence. Don't you mean DEI excellence? Come on, guys. And gain visibility on the GBiz Jobs portal. Attract top talent and align your team's goals with industry-leading insights and accreditation. How many times can you use the word accreditation in one single sweeping mission statement? Code Coven. And it's weird that I happened upon this story today because I was watching an Asmongold video and I saw this name pop up and I thought, oh, I ought to dig into this a bit further to see what's happening. And my overall conclusion is, folks, that Code Coven of Witches are no good for the video games industry because these ladies might fool you into thinking they have the best intentions possible. You thought I was going to come out with an innuendo there, but no, I'm keeping that away from today because really, this video just had me thinking a lot of, again, you've got all these programs like Evolve and GDP and all this nonsense. All they want to do is to make the future of video games worse than it's ever been. I mean, look at Corinne Bush. He stepped down a few hours ago and is going to destroy more video games in the future because in his bye-bye email to all his co-workers and everybody else, like, keep in touch and we're going to have to rise and lift and take the highs and the lows, or sweet and low in his case. Corinne Bush, if you're not familiar, is the man who thinks is a woman and gave us Dragon Age the Failguard, and we know how that game has gone from strength to strength. So again, these ladies, all they're actually hiding behind is a racist mask because, again, they want to make sure that so-called marginalized people out there, you know, the millennials and the Gen Zers, get a chance to be mentored by them to make sure that their credentials, supported by gamesindustry.biz, will be a recognized certificate when you go for a job interview at whatever Rocksteady Studios are going to be in the future, whether you go knocking on the door of Ubisoft, which will be owned by Tencent at this point, Rockstar Games maybe. They have to look at that certificate. They're going to be forced to hire this person on the spot, put them at a desk and say, all right then, make a video game for me. What have you got? And I tell you what, unless you're Robert De Niro from The Untouchables, who walks around like his weak impersonation of Harvey Weinstein with a baseball bat, and he doesn't like your idea, it's going to be clobbering time for that person who walked through the door hoping that their future would be absolutely succinct and full of roses and wine. But oh my god, folks, seriously, this was quite a video today. Like I said, I make videos in the hope that people will take notice of them. You don't really have to take notice of me, folks, because I'm a buffoon locked in his bedroom of 80s perpetuity, which also has pinups of lovely busty beauties around me. And if I were you, and if you were me, don't cast a spell, but if you're beautiful with big knockers, by all means, go ahead and do so. And I'll catch you catching me for the return of the next exciting video.
A game studio, you know, and love for you to be a part of it. And that's when we came together with LaToya Peterson to create Glow Up Games, which is the first, as far as we know, game studio founded by women of color.
Thank you for watching Jason King on Kung Fu Hot Dog today. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more mindless videos. And if you don't, he will send his boob army of women to deal with you. On second thoughts, I'll unsubscribe.